How do you charge for your services as a freelance writer? This is one question that I have been asked over and over again, whether it's Instagram or on LinkedIn. I am helping you charge your services as a premium freelance writer today in this video, so make sure you watch it till the end. When I started my journey as a freelance writer back in 2020, it took me 6 months to close my very first client. And that first client paid me $60 to write one single blog. But today, my charges are around $800 for a single blog. How did I go there? What was the trajectory? Most importantly, how am I able to charge this much for writing one single blog? I will give you 3 simple steps that will help you not only to charge more but also become more confident in what it is that you are providing as a freelance writer. Even though I am talking about writing a single blog here, these 3 things or principles, you could say, they apply to every single service that you are providing on LinkedIn or on social media. So let's get into it. The first step is having a LinkedIn profile. Believe it or not, but if you are not using LinkedIn or if you are not on LinkedIn in the present world, you're just leaving money on the table, especially as a freelancer or a digital marketer. So how it works is your LinkedIn profile is your landing page. It should help people know who you are, what you do, and who you do it for. Therefore, it is very important to create a LinkedIn profile that speaks about you, but it speaks directly to your potential clients. I already have a detailed video on my channel where I explain everything about optimizing your LinkedIn profile. So I will link it in the description and in the I button. You can check it out. Go ahead, watch that video. And the very first step is to have a LinkedIn profile that lets people know what it is that you are selling as a content writer. In my case, when I began in 2020, it was blogs. So my profile was all about blogs. Even though I was a beginner, I knew very little about blogging and content writing all in general. I was exploring, I was a beginner, but the truth is we all start somewhere, right? So go ahead, choose one skill as a writer and start optimizing your LinkedIn profile around 2 things. Number one, the service you are providing, and number two, who you are providing it for. Now comes the second step, charge more than what you feel is good. How this works. Well, once you have your LinkedIn profile set up, once you have started creating content on LinkedIn, once you have started reaching out to people, explaining them who you are, what you do, and what you're trying to sell, and you get a potential prospect that may be interested in working with you, this is what you have to do. As you get into the client conversation, make sure that you quote a little more than what you expect to get paid. For example, I quoted $100 for the blog that I was paid $60. You understand how it works? When you quote a little more than what you are expecting to get paid, there are high chances that the client will negotiate with you, especially in the beginning years of your career. If somebody would have told me that I will be paid $60 for a blog that I am going to write once again, if I had to do it all over again, I would have not quoted $100. I would have probably quoted a little more so that I get paid at least $100. So let's say, for example, you are selling any kind of digital marketing package or any kind of content marketing package. Let's say, since you are in the beginning days of your career, you are pricing it at $300. There are high chances that the client will negotiate and he or she will tone it down to $250 or $200. So make sure that you always quote a little more than what you're expecting to get paid. Now, the last step. You have set up your LinkedIn profile. You know how to charge more. You have understood the whole negotiation that goes behind it. But now the most important part is delivering what you are charging for. The truth is, you are only able to charge more when you become confident in your skill set. And I went from charging $60 to $800 for one single content piece because I knew that I knew that I could deliver what I am claiming. blogging or blog writing, it involves a lot of research. So if I go back, the content piece that I was paid $60 for, it was shitty. Absolutely shitty. But the one that I was paid $800 for, those are just two poles apart content pieces written by the same person, but they show that how I had grown as a writer within those 3 years. So the whole point is you cannot go out and blatantly tell people I charge this much. No, it doesn't work that way. Always make sure that whatever it is you are quoting to your clients, you stand by it with confidence in delivering those services. You can fool your client, but you cannot fool yourself. So it is very essential that whatever you are claiming to deliver, you go beyond that and you always under promise but over deliver. That is one rule of freelancing or service providing that I have followed since day one. I have been a content writer, and that is why I have been able to grow this much, not just as a writer but also as a person and as my personal brand on LinkedIn or on Instagram and now on YouTube as well. So this is the baseline: under promise, over deliver. That is the simple rule of being able to charge more, because your confidence will come from the qualities or the deliverables that you will promise and deliver more than that. So I hope that you understood how I went from charging $60 to $800, and it did not happen overnight. So do not think that it can happen like this. No, it took me 3 years, you know, project by project. I always made sure that I charge a little more than what I was paid for in the last project. For example, after $60, I started charging $100. Then I went to $200. Then I went to $400, and then I went to $800. It was not like it happened overnight. It was a process, a step by step strategic process that I followed after every single client project. So I hope now you understand how charging your services is more about delivering what you promise, and it is also about your conscience. You cannot go out and say any random number. No. Along with being confident, your conscience has to say yes. That, yes, Shweta, this is what you deserve to get paid. So I hope with this you understood how you can go from charging or starting your career as a content writer and getting paid whatever it is that you feel is right for you. So yes, if you have any questions, you can drop them in the comments, and I will see you in the next video very